p.m. on HBO.
The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello and welcome. I'm Maricela Calaton. This is TVWAN News. In this edition, country's top schools and students announced more funding to improve healthcare, and PNG NRL bid makes a breakthrough. Deputy Prime Minister John Rosso will be acting Prime Minister for the next 5 days starting this afternoon as Prime Minister James Marape attends the PNG Investment Week in Sydney, Australia. With Rosso scheduled to close the conference next week Wednesday, he flies to Sydney on Tuesday, and Minister for Public Service and Member for Nuku, Joe Sungi, will be acting PM from then until Thursday, when the Prime Minister is expected to return. Marape made these announcements before jetting off to Sydney on the Falcon this afternoon.
The conclusion of the second last cabinet meeting for the year this afternoon, Prime Minister James Marape met the media before jetting off to Sydney.
Oh, hello everyone. Hello. Sorry to keep you all waiting for so long. My sincerest apologies. We had cabinet, and cabinet just concluded. Our second last cabinet.
Attending the investment week, Prime Minister James Marape highlighted the importance of the mining sector in the country and his government's plan to utilize this sector by introducing changes starting next year.
As I step into the mining conference, I did inform the mining sector that by 2025, on our 50th anniversary, we are shifting our mining regime to a regime that is not cumbersome, burdensome, and on Papua New Guinea to participate in the mining and petroleum and gas business. I will be informing the industry as I go into the conference that regime shift that we've been talking about is being finalized. It is coming.
He said these changes will be done taking into consideration the investors and ensuring they're not compromised.
But something that we will never compromise also, whilst we want to gain more, consistent with our philosophy to take back more for our country, we will never compromise our investors also, making a fair return on the investments.
In Sydney, the Prime Minister is expecting a huge delegation, as reported by PNG Core, the organisers of the conference, and he said this only shows the interest investors have in PNG.
Commendations to them, the highest ever attendance this year in this conference that is coming up, over 1,800 attendees, and that is higher than the last one we had from what I've been told. It just goes to show the number of interest that continues to be maintained or is increasing for investments in Papua New Guinea.
In his absence, the Cabinet has appointed Deputy Prime Minister John Rosso as the acting Prime Minister. He assumes the role from today until Tuesday, when he also attends the Investment Week in Sydney.
Our Deputy Prime Minister is required to come in for the closing of the conference on Wednesday. And so if I don't come back, And if our presence both out of the country is required of us in next week, then Cabinet has appointed the Honorable Joe Sungi as a standby to act as Prime Minister in both of our absence next week. He will be absent next week, Tuesday onwards. I'm absent today, so he holds the forts up until Tuesday when he flies in to close the conference on Wednesday.
Meantime, participants in the conference started flying to Australia this week, with the conference scheduled to begin on Sunday, December 8th and end on Wednesday, December 11th. Ruth Rongola, TVWAN News.
The top 10 schools and top students have been announced at today's launching of the 2024 online national exam results for grades 10, 12 in science, technology, engineering and mathematics. Education Minister Lucas Dekena revealed the top performers after opening the Department of Education's 2024 exam results.
Education Minister Lucas Dekena officially launched the online release of national examination results for grades 10, 12, and science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. This means that students and their parents or guardians may check their examination results when visiting the website mypngexamresults.com. Minister Dekena said 77,413 grade 10 students in 482 high schools and secondary schools set for the 2024 grade 10 national examination. For grade 12, 32,863 students from 225 secondary schools and 6 national schools of excellence set for the national examinations, while 239 grade 12 STEM students from the 6 national schools of excellence did their exams this year. From there, he announced the top 10 grade 10 system schools and private and permitted schools.
Top grade 10 proper system schools. 1. At the top is NCDC LaSalle for all our technical secondary.
For the top grade 10 private and permitted schools, PNG Paradise Secondary scored a perfect score of 100, followed by St. Joseph's International Catholic College, Goroka Australian International High, Kop Kop College in NCD, Nonu Institute Secondary in the nation's capital, New Ireland's Kop Kop College ranked 6th in the grade 10 exams, Kimbe International is 7th, Highlands Christian Grammar in Western Highlands Province is 8th, followed by Olch International in New Ireland, and Enga's Highlands Lutheran International is 10th nationwide. In the grade 12 exams, Kerevat National High in East New Britain Province has topped the schools of excellence, followed by Wawin in Morobe, Sogeri in Central, Port Moresby National High, Ayura in Eastern Highlands, and Passam in East Sepik Province. Again, PNG Paradise Secondary has a mean rating index of 100 in the grade 12 national examination for private and permitted schools. Highlands Lutheran International in Enga is 2nd, 3rd and 4th placed are NCD schools, St. Joseph's International Catholic College and Kop Kop College. 5th place is Goroka Grammar in Eastern Highlands Province. Topping the grade 12 system secondary schools is Enga's Piti Pais RMCN Secondary, followed by Mount Hagen Secondary in 2nd place. Paglum Secondary in Western Highlands is 3rd, Marianville Secondary is 4th, Lihir Secondary is 5th, Morobes Busu Secondary is 6th, followed by Millen Bay's Cameron Secondary, Putuka Academy in the 8th spot, St. Ignatius Secondary in West Sepik is 9th, and Mercy Yarapo Secondary in East Sepik Province is ranked 10th in the 2024 grade 12 examination. Minister Dekena congratulated all the principals, teachers and staff of these top grades 10, 12 and STEM schools for their efforts in providing quality teaching and learning environments for the students. He further acknowledged the students for their hard work and commitment this year, and also the parents and guardians for their love and support. Kamala Guare, TVWAN News.
Only 2 years into operation in Papua New Guinea, the Independent Commission Against Corruption has received 193 anti-corruption complaints and prosecuted 168. This was announced today in Port Moresby.
When speaking to the media during a press conference in Port Moresby, the ICAC Deputy Commissioner Operations and Technical Service, Daniel Bulge, said since their establishment on July 4, 2023, ICAC has received about 193 anti-corruption complaints, prosecuted 168 of these complaints, and issued 73 notices. 13 complaints are under investigation.
ICAC has received 191 complaints, reports of corruption. We've assessed 168 of these matters reports, and we've commenced by opening 13 investigations and issued 73 notices under the use of our coercive powers.
He said most of these complaints contain allegations of money laundering, and few of these allegations are connected from Papua New Guinea to other countries as well.
Matters aren't simple in nature. Quite often there's things we look at which contain and have resulted in significant losses to the state and a substantial amount of money. What we also see is that corruption touches across not only this nation, but the links of our corruption goes across the globe and to our partners within the region in Asia Pacific.
He said that given the little resources they have, the organization has grown in these investigative and operational capabilities with only 21 staff operations and 13 investigators who are working behind the scenes to tackle corrupt activities in the country. Therefore, they need assistance from the Papua New Guinea government and other law agencies to help them prosecute anti-corruption cases and hold perpetrators accountable.
Frank, we need results in the next 12 months to deal with the challenge of money laundering and corruption as the predicate offence. And we will not get that through investigation and criminal prosecution alone. We need to deliver, we need to act now. So what I also do is I call on the other agencies across government to also support us in this fight. And government itself, get on board, this needs to happen. And that's the only way in which we'll produce those sort of results in the time in which we need them.
The Deputy Commissioner said currently they are bringing in experts to support the organization's effort to fight against corruption in terms of training their investigators. They are hopeful to grow stronger with a mission to disrupt and deter corruption to build trust and accountability into the future. Tracy Pa, TV1 News.
Meanwhile, Deputy Commissioner of Prevention and Corporate Graham Gill announced that ICAC will actively participate in the International Anti-Corruption Day that will be observed on Monday, December 9th. In observing the event, Gill said ICAC will host a range of activities to raise more awareness about anti-corruption activities in the country.
Part of PNG's commitment to the UNCAC, the ICAC will mark International Anti-Corruption Day each year with a range of activities aimed at increasing awareness and commitment to anti-corruption activities. The ICAC is working closely with our partners to achieve our mandate. This includes the UN Office of Drugs and Crime, the Australian PNG Law and Justice Partnership, and the UN Development Programme.
A bright future beckons for 58 children who graduated from the Don Bosco Champions Literacy and Numeracy Program during a heartfelt ceremony held at the Don Bosco Technological Institute in Morocco on Tuesday, December 3rd.
The event marked the program's third graduation and was attended by Salesians, benefactors, teachers, parents and guests, all gathered in DBT's gymnasium to celebrate the children's achievements. Launched in 2022 by the Don Bosco Mission Office for Papua New Guinea and the Solomon Islands, The program offers free education in literacy and numeracy to underprivileged children for those who have dropped out of school or never attended due to financial struggles or lack of motivation. Initially based at Don Bosco Technical School in Gabutu, the program expanded to DBTI Boroko in 2024 under the leadership of Father Pedro Sachitula. Both campuses have provided critical support to children from marginalized settlements in surrounding areas, helping them re-enter formal education. The 2024 cohort's accomplishments were celebrated with remarks from Father Gregorio Bicomong, Salesian Provincial for PGS, and Father Srimel Silva, Provincial Economer and Director of the Mission Office. Both thanked sponsors and benefactors for their contributions, emphasizing the program's goal of reducing illiteracy and supporting vulnerable children. Carol Kidu Jr., TV1 News.
You're watching TV1 News. We'll have more stories after the break. Stay with us.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
He says the best Hunters players come from his region. So does she. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SB Lager, Bunyamyumi.
Hiya, Mama. You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic kakaro, get up and big smile on face. Time for kimchi and a great kumutu. Sip, sip, the moo, yes, magic on you.
Magic, the taste PNG loves.
Christmas and New Year's greetings to our valued guests. Thank you for choosing Seedler Bay Hotel during your time in Maros Province. We wish you a joyful Christmas and a new year filled with happiness, health, and special moments with your loved ones. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. With gratitude, the management team of Seedler Bay Hotel in partnership with Tashan Group Limited.
Welcome back. Prime Minister James Marape has hailed the 2.86 billion kina allocation to the health sector in Papua New Guinea's 2025 national budget. Marape says the allocation is a testament to the government's commitment to improving healthcare access and outcomes for every Papua New Guinean, including the development of specialized hospitals.
The 2025 healthcare budget positions Papua New Guinea on a path to better health outcomes through strategic investments in infrastructure, human resources, and specialized care. Prime Minister James Marape, when commending the government for the allocation of funds to healthcare in the 2025 budget, said this is more than just a budget, it is a commitment to the health and well-being of all people. He said with this, a brighter, healthier future for all Papua New Guineans is ensured. PM Marape also announced that by next year, Papua New Guinea should have world-class cancer and heart facilities operational, offering treatments that were previously only accessible overseas. These hospitals are designed to reduce the financial and emotional burden on families who have had to seek costly treatment abroad, particularly in Australia and Singapore. He said the need for specialized hospitals has been growing due to the increasing prevalence of non-communicable diseases in Papua New Guinea, particularly heart disease and cancer. Over the past decade, limited access to advanced diagnostic and treatment facilities has led to preventable deaths. These hospitals aim to fill that gap, providing Papua New Guineans with cutting-edge medical care without leaving the country. The Prime Minister also called for collaborative efforts from all stakeholders to ensure the successful implementation of these projects. Carol Kidu Jr., TVWAN News.
A 9 million kina contract has been signed between the Road and Swatch Asia Pte Limited and the National Information and Communication Technology for the deployment of a modern spectrum monitoring system for PNG airwaves.
The signing of the contract for the deployment and provision of a fixed mobile and remote-controlled radio monitoring system is a milestone for the National Information and Communication Technology Authority and PNG. The contract between NICTA and Road and Swatch Asia Pte Limited, a global technology group, was witnessed at the National Procurement Commission today. Radio frequency spectrum is a limited resource essential for many vital communication services across many sectors of the economy. As the spectrum manager, NICTA recognizes the need to monitor the use of radio spectrum in the public interest. The R&S Asia Pte Limited, which will be delivering the RMS at a cost of about 9.65 million kina, will improve spectrum management by monitoring the airways automatically. The RMS will monitor spectrum usage and is capable of monitoring radio frequencies within the range of 7 kHz to 54 GHz. Spectrum interference is an issue in the nation and can lead to loss and disruption to services and loss of revenue to operators. It can further impact emergency services, security, weather, broadcasting, mobile, aviation, and maritime services, and more. The spectrum solution will be a critical regulated tool in the management, planning, and utilization of the country's frequency spectrum resources, allowing a safer, secure, and connected PNG. Jasmine Rojak, TV1 News.
The United States, through USAID, has delivered humanitarian supplies to the International Organization for Migration to support Papua New Guinea's disaster response. Stored in the International Organization for Migration's Ley warehouse. The supplies will assist over 10,000 people during emergencies, providing essential shelter and household items. U.S. Ambassador Anne-Marie Yateshok reaffirmed the U.S. commitment to swift disaster relief and preparedness. This initiative is part of USAID's ongoing efforts, with nearly 10 million kina provided in the past year for disaster response and over 140 million kina invested since 2012 to strengthen PNG's resilience to natural disasters. Thanks for staying with us. Kira Kira village in the Motukoitabu Council within the city of Port Moresby will again host another spectacular village celebration with a variety of activities coming Saturday, 7 December 2024. The Kira Kira Festival will be held at the village cricket field just opposite the Nakia Center alongside Pari Road.
Kira Kira Festival is a time originally held to bring together all the villages to observe the Karuka, or harvest in Koitabu vernacular, festival that is held around April to June. The event, headed by the Kira Kira Koita Magi or Women Association this year, is called Kira Kira Festival only. President Gorame Momo Priestley elaborates further, saying the main aim for them starting this festival is to make known to everyone about the existence of Kira Kira village, a traditional indigenous village in the city of Port Moresby.
On Saturday, we will be having a Kira festival. It is something that we started in 2022. The first one was in 2022. It was called Kira Karuka Festival. And 23, we had another one, Kira Karuka Festival. And this is the third one, is Kira Festival. On that day, there will be 100 stalls available, and the stalls are still going out for sale. Those who are interested in doing your little markets out there, please come along and support our local people in Kira village. The stalls are going for 150 kina, and the corporate stalls are 500 kina. So there will be 100 stalls on that day on display, arts and crafts and food as well as many other things, flower arrangements and flowers and things like that.
Events will include display of local fashion designers' work, which will be seeing role models from the village displaying the designs as in previous years.
And we will also have our Kira Koita Kora cultural group dancing too, and it's a group made up of young children, school-age children. So they will be performing as well as there will be a taboo platform built on that day, and some of our young performers, cultural dancers, will be on the platform to be dancing on that day as well. We will put traditional garden kaikai like bananas and yams will be on display, or they will be put on the platform, on the taboo platform.
The Koita Magi Association is not leaving anyone behind, and so after 3 years of doing the festival, they are now including the people living with disabilities to participate on their own as well. There will be 2 greasy poles to be conquered by the 4 clans in the village competing, as well as a tug of war. Mosby South District has been the major sponsor, and again this year it will be supporting 100 gazebos, including 1 table and a chair. The stalls are going for 150 kina for groups or individuals to rent on the day. Frida Kana, TVWAN News.
Octedi Mining Limited has made a groundbreaking discovery during its 2024 Fish Diversity Survey in the Fly River system, recording 102 species, including the rare Pasca's blue eye, also known as Sedemo pascae. This tiny, colorful fish, last seen in 1983, was found thriving in undisturbed creeks near Kiunga, Western Province, alongside other rare species.
Octedi Mining Limited, or OTML, has rediscovered the Pasca's blue eye, or Pseudo-Mugil pascae, a rare freshwater fish endemic to the Fly River system, during its 2024 Fish Diversity Survey. The fish, last seen in 1983, was found in a pristine creek near Gusiora village along the Elevala River, a Fly River sub-catchment. The survey recorded 102 fish species, including other rare species like fork-tailed catfish gobies and rainbow fish, showcasing improvements in the river's ecological health. OTML's Environment Manager Erizo Kepe noted the importance of preserving undisturbed habitats for these endemic species, emphasizing their critical role in regional biodiversity. Conducted every 5 years as part of OTML's riverine monitoring program, the survey involved experts from international institutions. A second phase in 2025 aims to explore the upper catchments with expectations of exceeding previous records. OTML remains committed to environmental sustainability and post-mining ecosystem restoration. Carol Kidu Jr., TV1 News.
And now the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2513 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2438 $0.3767 Australian dollars, €0.2245 and 36.39 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold, coffee, cocoa, palm oil and copper closed higher. Copper and crude oil closed the day lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, the ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. This is TV1 News. We'll have news overseas when we return. Stay tuned.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
Hiya, Mama. You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic kakaro, get up a big smile on face. Time for kim chicken, a great kumutu. Sip, sip, the moo, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, the taste PNG loves.
Right across the nation, we eat snacks crackers. Emi trupla. All get a young planalapun, only like him snacks crackers. Only make him here, no PNG, one-time lay biscuit company. It's crunchy and tasty. It's irresistible.
Enjoying life when we work together, making happy memories that last forever. Hot in talk, young or old, a scale family meal with home. We'll bring out the smiles cause it's our favorite from us. Tennessee cola, scale rice, don't scale price. Tennessee cola, scale rice, don't scale price. Amber, you like it?
Bro, it's awesome, man.
Pepsi promotion.
I'm so excited. Let's go, let's go.
And the Pepsi for Max.
Pepsi for Max.
And how do you win this? 2 plus Pepsi, that's all.
2 cans, bro. 2 plus, that's all.
You get yourself a chance to win.
This box of Max.
It's crazy cool. My God. A pair of headphones. It's a towel.
How about that? Cooler box. Yeah!
Welcome back. In regional news, binding global targets to cut plastic production must be at the center of any continuing negotiations to secure the world's first treaty to tackle plastic waste, a group of 85 countries has said. Talks in South Korea attempting to secure agreement between more than 200 countries on the details of a plastic pollution treaty failed over the weekend. Greenpeace said on Monday that they are at a crossroads, adding that the opportunity to secure an impactful plastics treaty that protects health, biodiversity, and climate remains within reach. After significant backlash, the Commonwealth Bank has decided to pause changes it announced only yesterday that would see some customers hit with a cash withdrawal fee. The bank admits it communicated the decision poorly and has now given itself 6 months to explain itself to affected customers before it imposes any changes.
A loud reaction to a quiet decision.
Don't they make enough money now? What do they have to rob us for?
Why should I have to pay $3 to make a withdrawal on my own money? It's ridiculous.
It's absolutely disgusting.
Yesterday, the Commonwealth Bank announced some customers would start paying a $3 fee to withdraw their cash from branches and post offices, generating anger online before politicians joined in. Now, the Commonwealth Bank is in damage control.
Clearly, we've done a poor job of communicating aspects of this change for our customers. We're going to pause the changes that we announced, and we're going to spend the next 6 months individually engaging with each of those customers.
CBA wants to close its complete access accounts held by 1.2 million customers and transfer them to Smart Access, which includes the withdrawal fee. The bank says 90% of those affected will be better off, but it will now engage with the remaining 10%.
We will be in contact with all of our customers to explain which group they fit into and give them instructions on what they need to do, including if they need to do nothing.
The Commonwealth Bank posted a $9.5 billion profit last financial year. Nevertheless, it says it needs to impose withdrawal fees because the service is so costly. The bank is now trying to work out if just those who use it should help pay for those costs or all of its customers.
This year's Paris Olympic Games saw the worst performance from Australia's rowing team, the row sellers in 36 years. So, a new initiative has been launched to make the sport accessible to more kids, regardless of their background.
Georgie Rowe is one of the only members of the current Rowing Australia program who went to a public high school. Unlike most elite private schools, Georgie's school didn't offer a rowing program, so it was a chance encounter as a 24-year-old that launched the now two-time Olympian's career.
If someone came up to me when I was at school and said, hey, you're really tall, you're really strong, we would love to get you in a boat, I probably would have done it, but those opportunities aren't there for the public school kids.
This year's Paris Olympic Games saw the worst performance from an Australian rowing team since 1988, winning just one bronze medal. The program is currently undergoing its regular post-games review with a bigger emphasis on what went wrong and identifying ways to improve, like making the sport more accessible.
We've got a lot of things in place and we're tweaking a few things and working with our partners and stakeholders around the states. We always want to do better.
Long-term rowers John and Jeanette Gasson believe access to the sport has always been an issue. So they founded and built Canberra's Red Shed, which has several programs, including rowing for children, no matter their background.
In our last school holiday program, we had kids from 25 different public schools attend the programs, which we're really excited about.
Keeping those shoulders in front of the hips. While the facility is only in its infancy, the Gassons want programs like this to bolster the depth of Australia's rowing talent.
It's pretty ambitious, but somehow we want 8 graduates to be in the 2032 Olympics. That's one of our goals and we're working on that. We report on that and we'll continue to do that.
For Wendy Stacewinkles, it's an opportunity she wouldn't otherwise have had.
Because it's mostly a lot of private schools in the competitive, so it's great to have more public school kids doing it.
In a program Georgie could only dream of when she was at school.
There's so many more kids that would be so great at rowing, but if they don't have the access to it, you'll never find them.
Pulling towards a better future for Australian rowing.
New research has confirmed a dramatic increase in mental health insurance claims by young Australian workers. Over the past decade, the number of employees aged in their 30s who've lodged a claim for a mental health injury at work has risen by more than 700%.
Jamie suffered a major psychological response after being bullied on a construction site 2 years ago. He was diagnosed with an ongoing mental disorder which has forced him out of work.
For me, I feel like it's just robbed me of my identity. You know, I'm no longer a painter and decorator in the construction industry. I'm a 40-plus-year-old disabled pensioner, which, sucks to say.
There's been a sharp rise in the number of young Australians experiencing similar outcomes.
The research is showing that we have an exponential rise in the number of people who are leaving the workforce for good because of their mental health.
The biggest increase in mental health claims is in the 30 to 40-year age group, up 730%. Payments for mental health claims now make up almost a third of all permanent disability claims.
The reasons behind the sharp rise in claims are complex and not well understood. There is a greater awareness of mental health conditions and more workers are reporting symptoms, especially younger workers who make up a greater proportion of the workforce.
But what else is going on?
what we've shown is that the most recent cohort of workers, young people, not only do they have more mental health problems, but at any given level of work stress, that affects their mental health more, i.e. they are less resilient to work stress than they used to be.
The rise coincides with an increase in support services.
So there's a lot more awareness, there's a lot more push to help seeking, there's a lot more training of managers, mental health first aid, are you okay?
Help available, but at times too late.
A Perth grandmother has been sentenced to 6 years in a Japanese prison after she was convicted of importing 2 kilograms of methamphetamine. Dawn Nelson has long argued she's the innocent victim of a love scam, but the Sheba District Court found she must have doubts that what she was doing was illegal.
It was a devastating outcome for the family who fought for their mum's freedom.
You just have to look at how she looks now compared to how she looked when she arrived here. It's taken its toll on her. I worry about how she would handle another 6 years.
Donna Nelson claimed she was duped into carrying a suitcase from Laos to Japan, believing her online boyfriend needed it as a sample for his fashion business. Hidden under a false bottom was 2 kilograms of methamphetamine. But the Chiba District Court found Ms Nelson overlooked too many red flags. Why didn't her boyfriend organise his associate in Laos to deliver the suitcase himself, the judge noted. Why did she tell him a month before the flight she did not want to collect his baggage? The strangeness of the request was not resolved, and the doubt something illegal could be inside the suitcase was not resolved, he said. Prosecutors wanted Ms Nelson to serve 10 years, but the judge dropped it to 6, acknowledging she was also a victim. The defendant committed the crime because she was deceived by Kelly and she had hopes of marriage, he said. He added a jail term was necessary. The court should be clear to show the crime was not financially worthwhile. Donna Nelson was crying throughout her sentencing, her head placed on the desk in front of her. As she was led away back to Chiba prison, still in shock, she could only ask about her grandchildren. A reunion her family are now determined to make happen as soon as possible.
I just said to her, it's okay, you're going to come home soon.
The family's lawyers will appeal the decision.
Of course she's devastated, but I think she's a strong woman, so we'll discuss and prepare for the next fight.
As the Australian government continues to provide support.
Today is obviously a very difficult day for the family and our sympathy is with them.
The judge took 430 days off the sentence for time already served, meaning Ms Nelson has 4 years and 10 months remaining.
And that ends the news segment. Sports is next. Stay tuned.
A warm Christmas and New Year's greetings to our valued guests. Thank you for choosing Seedler Bay Hotel during your time in Maros Province. We wish you a joyful Christmas and a new year filled with happiness, health and special moments with your loved ones. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. With gratitude, the management team of Seedler Bay Hotel in partnership with Tassian Group Limited.
Bro, it's awesome, man.
Pepsi promotion.
I'm so excited.
Let's go, let's go.
And Pepsi for match.
Pepsi for match. And how do you win this? Buy 2 plus Pepsi, that's all.
2 cans, bro.
2 plus, that's all.
You get yourself a chance to win
this box of match.
It's crazy cool. My God. Pair of headphones.
It's a towel. How about that? Full box. Yeah!
In its first 10 years, the PNG LNG project has had a long-lasting impact, contributing more than 28 billion kina to the state of Papua New Guinea. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levy and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
There is more to what the future holds. You me holy man, no money bus, we're ready to go.
Welcome back. A turn of events on the legitimacy of the chairman of Port Moresby Rugby League has led to a call by Southern Confederate to decide on the fate of Dr. James Naipau. POM RL's former president and chairman Naipau's futile attempts to call an AGM failed twice due to affiliate clubs not attending. The involvement of Southern Confederate during mediation between new PRL board and Dr. Naipau, including affiliate clubs, confirms Dr. Naipau's illegal occupation of office for the last 8 years, when his term of office expired on the 30th of November 2016. POM RL Board's new president and chairman Honk Kiap is adamant in getting POM RL in order, including all legacy issues. Prime Minister James Marape is expected to return next week Thursday from Australia with some news about PNG's bid to have a team in the NRL. Marape announced this today, indicating that while there for the investment conference, he will be holding further negotiations with the NRL team and the Australian government about this subject, indicating that PNG has ticked off all requirements needed to file a team in the NRL.
The country should be looking forward to some news in the NRL bid space next week, following
mid next week. Subject to some negotiations that is happening in between ourselves and the Australian National Rugby League. If all goes well, then I will not come back until after Thursday, and so that is at this stage. I can't preempt the final leg of process that is happening.
The Prime Minister said the process to have an NRL team from PNG has been completed with all requirements ticked off.
And so subject to the requirements that has been ticked off as we speak, the process is complete, and I may be required to stay back until Thursday next week.
The NRL bid process started back in the early 2000s under the Somare government and has come a long way. The Prime Minister also took time to brush aside claims that there was a security agreement to the NRL deal between PNG and Australia, saying there is no hidden security agreement specifically for the NRL deal, except the existing bilateral security agreement that's already in place.
No security negotiation from where I see. There's no condition you do this and we will give you the team. The NRL team process comes from the NRL itself and not from the Australian government.
The Prime Minister also highlighted the spin-off benefits that would come with having a PNG team in the NRL. He described it as massive and would benefit the country a lot.
Studies have been made by individual accounting firms that the NRL bid in PNG will contribute to a 1% value in as far as GDP is concerned. So there's an effect and gain to the economy. You've got games played here, you've got spin-off employments being created, the players going to be residing here in Port Moresby, and so this will create employment. It's not just a sport in an isolated place someplace. Employment's created, spin-off activities created.
Meantime, the Prime Minister said PNG's bid for a team in the NRL was a business case with no conditions attached to it like security. Ruth Rungola, TV1 Sports.
The OFC Women's Pre-Elite course brought together promising and aspiring women referees to equip them with the skills and knowledge to achieve elite status within 3 years. Over 4 days, 12 match officials participated in a combination of activities including fitness test, physical training and a workshop on the physical demands of refereeing. The physical component was complemented by a technical program that covered different aspects of the laws of the game and recent amendments to the laws. The course featured sessions on decision-making, safeguarding, stress management, and other high-performance elements. Running parallel to the pre-elite course was the referee fitness instructor course, which welcomed 7 participants from 7 different member associations, including 2 new instructors. This program emphasized the importance of fitness coaches in preparing referees to handle demands of making accurate decisions under pressure. That ends the sports segment. We'll now have the weather forecast. Southern isolated showers, thunderstorms. Port Moresby partly cloudy with chances of a few showers at some spots. Kerama mostly cloudy. Alatau partly cloudy with some rain showers. Mamase isolated showers, thunderstorms. Ley becoming cloudy with some rain in the night. Wewak partly cloudy with chances of few showers. Medan mostly fine. New Guinea Islands, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms with areas of rain. Lorengau partly cloudy with few rain showers. Kokopo, Rabaul mostly fine, and Buka partly cloudy with chances of few showers. Highlands, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms with areas of rain. Mendi, Tari and Wabeg mostly cloudy with some rain and possible thunderstorm. Coral Seas, seas light to moderate becoming rather rough in the night with easterly winds of 10 to 20 knots with gusts up to 25 knots in the night. Solomon Sea, seas light with east to southeast winds of 10 to 20 knots. Bismarck Sea, seas smooth with easterly winds of 5 to 10 knots. And Pacific Ocean, seas rather rough to moderate with east to northeast winds of 15 to 20 knots. Waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daro to Kiwai Islands to Kerema to Yule Island to Hood Point to Samarai Islands, seas 0.5 to 1 meter, rising to 1.5 to 2 meters along Hood Point to Samarai Island. Waters of New Island to New Britain, seas 0.5 to 1 meter, rising to 1.5 to 2 meters along eastern coast of New Island. Waters of Medang to Wewak to Vanimo and northern PNG Indonesian border. Waters of Finchafen through Vitish Strait to Siasi Long Island, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. Waters of Samarai Island to Cape Bogol and all Milimbe Islands. Waters of Manus and its western group of islands. And waters of West New Britain and Bougainville, seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters. That ends this edition of TV1 News. Have a pleasant evening. Bye for now.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by BSP, our bank, our people.